Well, a very good afternoon to you. Many thanks for joining us here on KTN News Desk on this 19th day of September 2016. Always a pleasure to have you tuned in here, where we keep you up to date on what is happening in the country and beyond. My name is Akisa Wandera. Many thanks for staying with us. Now, the International Court of Justice is currently hearing the maritime boundary dispute between Kenya and Somalia. Attorney General Githu Muigai is leading the team representing Kenya in making their objections to the suit filed by Somalia in 2014. Well, that row on the maritime between Kenya and Somalia is something we will keep keeping you up to date on with more information as the proceedings are ongoing at The Hague, with our very own Attorney General leading the team there. But away from that, heads of state and government are in New York for the 71st United Nations General Assembly. The assembly starts on the backdrop of less than 2 miles away that left 29 people injured. The Kenyan delegation is being led by Deputy President William Ruto. Ruto, who arrived in New York on Saturday, was received by Kenya's permanent representative to the UN, Macharia Kamau, and ambassador to the US, Njeru Githai. President Barack Obama is expected to arrive in New York later today. Tomorrow, he will meet Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi to discuss the campaign against ISIS and the effort to take back the northern Iraqi city of Mosul. On Tuesday, Obama will deliver his final General Assembly address, focusing on the Middle East, among other things. All right, let's go back to that top story we have for you at this hour. The International Court, of Justice, is currently hearing the maritime boundary dispute between Kenya and Somalia. Attorney General Githu Muigai is leading the team representing Kenya in making their objections to the suit filed by Somalia in 2014. Let's cross over there and listen into the court proceedings.
2014. That these were initiated by Kenya to address Somalia's breach of the MOU, and that maritime delimitation was discussed only in the most preliminary way, without any structure or detail. The facts also demonstrate that Somalia did not seriously pursue negotiations and seemingly went through the motions only so it could get before the court. Maritime boundaries delimitations are complex. Even where the court has jurisdiction, parties engage in prolonged negotiations before seeking judicial settlement. It is difficult to say how long negotiations must continue before they can be said to be exhausted. But among the maritime boundaries disputes decided by this court, the period of prior negotiations has typically been around 20 years. 2 preliminary technical meetings just 4 months apart is clearly not a reasonable period. Under these circumstances, it cannot be said that the parties have exhausted negotiations when they haven't even started proper discussions. Mr. President, allow me to take you through the details of these 2 meetings. Prior to the negotiations in 2014, the foreign ministers of Kenya and Somalia had agreed in a joint statement of 31st May 2013 that meetings should be held to discuss, and I quote, a framework of modalities for embarking on maritime demarcation, unquote, linked to implementation of the MOU. Thus, the purpose of discussions at that stage was merely procedural, to structure negotiations through a preliminary exchange of views based on the MOU. The primary purpose was not to hold substantive negotiations on the maritime boundary. Because this reference to the MOU resulted in heated controversy on the 6th of June 2013, the Somali Council of Ministers rejected any, and I quote, discussions on maritime demarcation or limitations on the continental shelf, end of quote, with Kenya. So what prompted the first meeting a few months later? Somalia does not dispute that Kenya initiated the first meeting. The question is why it did so. The answer is clear. It was because of Somalia's letter of 4th February 2014 to the UN repudiating the MOU and objecting to Kenya's CLCS submission. The purpose of the meeting in March 2014, just 1 month after that letter, was to persuade Somalia to comply with the MOU by withdrawing its objection. The CLCS was scheduled to consider Kenya's submission in September 2014. Compliance with the MOU was an urgent matter for Kenya. Somalia claims there is no evidence that the meeting was for the purposes of discussing the MOU. Should there be any doubt, Kenya has submitted evidence of an internal contemporaneous letter dated 12th February 2014 from the head of the Legal and Host Country Affairs Directorate of the Kenya Ministry for Foreign Affairs addressed to the Cabinet Secretary. That document may be found at tab number 11 of your judge's folder. This letter is dated just a week after Somalia's objection. It states that although the parties granted each other, and I quote, no objection, unquote, under the MOU, Somalia has written to the United Nations Secretary.
Those are the court proceedings at The Hague on the maritime border row between Kenya and Tanzania. But let's now cross over to Karen, where Wiper Democratic leader Kalonzo Musyoka is addressing the media after receiving a British national, John Horsfall, who is running across Africa for charity, currently the former vice president, and Wiper leader is answering questions from journalists. Let's just cross over there and listen in.
To conduct free and fair nominations. I think I've heard also Jubilee talk very loudly about this. So even as Wiper, we are going to have to discuss this because we don't want to lose members. There must be absolutely free and fair nomination. Because if you don't have that, then the party stands to lose. And I, as a party leader who has aspirations that are clearly elaborated, would of course also suffer. So this is something we'll be discussing. I've heard the Secretary General, Senator Hassan Omar, make it clear that this is a normal NEC meeting tomorrow, to which, of course, you're invited, as usual. On your earlier question, I think it would be a waste of time to think of disciplinary something. Maybe aggrieved citizens of this country may want to take action against these MPs who have betrayed their mandate, who have misused their own mandate But as a party, we are busy preparing for the next election, not chasing after people who have chosen to get themselves out of the National Assembly. So I hope I made myself clear. We will look defeatist to waste time planning and say, discipline these people, do this. If the law is there, if there's a law, it should take its course. But I can tell you, we don't have that kind of time to squander. Yeah? As I said, their own, electorate may want to take action. Yes, sir.
I'm Bulletin, from Nation.
Yes, Valentine.
Yeah.
Ah. I've seen, this is true, I've seen this morning some testimonial at the breakfast. A lady called Mwikali Lewinsky Kilonzi. I laughed. I said, that Lewinsky must be a man name. This reminds you of Monica Lewinsky. Anyway, let's go on. Yeah.
My question is concerning politics in code. We've witnessed ODM and Ford Kenya have been having their campaigns in the strongholds. But the same country say for Wiper.
Campaigns in the strongholds?
Yeah.
Well, because whatever you call the stronghold is so strong that you don't want to waste time. To be frank with you, I'm going to go countrywide. I'll go countrywide, and this is part of the things we shall be discussing tomorrow. We are very clear. We do not have the luxury of time. You have heard us argue that a strong Wiper is good for the coalition. A strong Ford Kenya and a strong ODM is also good for the coalition. And this is why you have seen that ODM have actually taken it upon themselves to use the advantage of the 10th anniversary to really strengthen themselves in Mombasa. You saw the rally in Mombasa, which was quite successful. And also, of course, people may say that was in response to Jubilee. And that's a debatable issue. And I leave you to debate, because I saw some people debating that particular issue. But the important thing is, it keeps the party membership warm. I attended the dinner event at the LICO when my brother Raila invited me. They were busy. They are rebranding, they are moving. And so we intend to do a similar thing in Wiper. And we are moving. That's for sure, covering the whole country. So occasionally, if I have to get back to Ukambani, if that's what you're referring to, I will. Like if I have to go and receive Mheshimiwa Mawewe in Kangundo and congratulate him for choosing to stay or to join Wiper, and because the tip has been swallowed up. So occasionally, something like that is worth celebrating. So I intend to go to Kangundo once in a while. And of course, we do have also moments where you feel you have to, like I'll be going home on the 24th. I must go home to Sekuru and at least remember our late mom. There are things you must do because that is home. But I want to concentrate my energies now in Central Province. You must have seen me in Gatundu North this last Friday. And you should have heard the member of Gatundu speak. And I actually told, because this what you in media are calling juggernaut or something, yeah, these people who are feeling uncomfortable joining this Jubilee thing, yeah, a lot of them will come to Wiper. And I want to go into Central Province. I will go into every part of this country. In fact, Meru is top of my agenda. And the Tharaka Nithi County, Meru County, what used to be the East Province, up to Isiolo, Moyale. Yeah, I will do that stretch. I will go down to the coast. As you know, Governor, I am so happy that Governor Dado did not get swallowed up. You guys were busy saying, this Governor Tana River anaingia Jubilee. I didn't see him. So I want to go to those parts. I go to Lamu. The deputy leader of Wiper is from Lamu, Honorable Shakil Abdallah, a strong lady. Yeah, and we're also going to be talking to other party leaders, because as the party leader, I'm authorized to invite other party leaders to come to join WIPA at the level of the summit. So this we're going to be doing as well as we move on.
Yeah. A question from the party leader.
Sema.
To ask a question. One, the issue of code, the internal mathematics. We've seen Joho declare interest 2022.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's
I saw Kidero as well do the same.
Don't you think that spoils the internal mathematics?
What mathematics? You're dealing with people. Yeah, finish, my friend. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the issue of sharing of seats. Those words that you share in a place like Nairobi, you'd share seats so that you strengthen each other in the city. And finally, there'll be the issue that money played a significant role in the defections.
I don't know. I mean, this money thing is always mysterious.
Yeah.
Money was poured.
Just wanted to know the exact figure. You might have a clue.
No. You know I can't talk that language. I will not. And therefore, you keep. If quietly we can discuss. I have no idea. My friend here talked of Eurobond. Somebody else talked of whatever. So let's talk the real issues. And the issues are, even if one is bought, that is their constitutional right even to be bought. All right? Fine. But it comes with a very high cost. And we are moving into a very important sphere in our national political orientation. We are now looking at the new IEBC. It is now clear we were not mad people when Deputy President went to some place in Ukambani and he said Kalonzo should be prayed for, because the last time I saw my friend was sitting on the tarmac. Okay. Now we had to sit on the tarmac to get them to see sense. And they saw sense. There was this very highly negotiated document, which is now, and we all know we do not have the luxury of time. We need to have the new IEBC in place as soon as it's practicable. And make sure that this condition of stolen votes is, if you call it a ghost, gets completely exorcised out of Kenyan politics. Therefore, Honorable Joho has every right to declare his intentions, to want to be president of this country. He has every right. If I were you, I would not worry about mathematics, because you're dealing with people. You might see some amazing change of landscape. And isn't it the case? Jubilee out there doing their thing, and then ODM moving very fast. Yeah? We are all looking and studying. Personally, I've been watching very keenly what is actually going on. I am quite sure, my friend Valentine, if it was WIPA doing what my brothers in ODM are doing, you'll be screaming, oh, Kalonzo is ruining the coalition. I'm very sure about that. I think about it. But so when I make a move, which I intend to, please remember, others have beaten that trail. So we know the game. We are not new in this matter of running for the presidency. We are prepared. We are getting organized, and we are moving. So, yes.
Sharing of seats.
Why are we sharing of?
WIPA leader and CODCO principal Kalonzo Musyoka there, speaking at his current home where he hosted a number of people, just talking about how the WIPA party is planning on strengthening the party in the wake of the big event of ODM at 10 that was witnessed about a week ago. And we will definitely be giving you more information on that. But at this point, we'll take a short break. Coming back, we'll be taking a look at the Senate Budget Committee that is being hosted in Mombasa by Senator Hassan Omar. John Juma will be giving us more details. Do not go too far. Welcome back. You are watching KTN News Desk. Many thanks for staying with us. Let's now cross over to Mombasa County, where our reporter John Juma is on standby to give us updates on the outcome of a stakeholders meeting to review the county's budget. A very good afternoon to you, John. Many thanks for joining us. Now, kindly let us in on some of the issues that were the center stage of these discussions by the Senate committee.
Thank you, Akisa. It was a multi-sectoral caucus on finance organized by the Office of Mombasa Senator, just trying to review budgetary allocation for Mombasa County for the last 3 years, and some of the issues which came out in this forum is the issue of high wage bill that Mombasa County is spending most of its budget to pay salaries, and very little is being assigned to development or projects. Another key concern was that the county has raised taxes, and this one is a big burden to a common mwananchi, common mama who sells mbogas and fruits to wananchi. And so they're saying that there's need for rationalization, there's need for all stakeholders to be included, because that was one of the issues raised, that when they are making their budgets, then the level of public participation is very low, and that one is worrying those who are here. Now, one major and probably the bigger concern is the proposal by the Mombasa County to purchase a residential house, which is believed to be for the governor at a tune of 390 million. And what they're saying, that kind of proposal, people have not been incorporated to give their views, and they don't see why a governor or a resident, for that matter, be it for the governor or any member of the county government, should be living in a palace worth 390 million when key structures, poor wananchi, have not been served. So the caucus is still ongoing. There are academicians, there are people from civil rights organizations, people from the county government who also were there, but we learned that they were not invited. And what they're saying is that for them, they're there to respond to any issue that may be raised that requires their response. Akisa?
All right, John, as you say, the caucus is ongoing. We'll definitely be looking out for you to give us more information about what will be said there. But thank you very much for giving us that update at this point in time. John Juma is joining us from Mombasa County, where, as he says, a multi-sectoral caucus on finance is ongoing, organized by Mombasa County Senator Hassan Omar. All right, let's now get on to sports, where to the top, courtesy of beg your pardon, let's just get into sports. So Jose Mourinho and his Manchester United side endured a week to forget us, and we'll be getting back to that story on Manchester United. But Real Madrid to the top of La Liga, courtesy of a 2-0 victory over Espanyol on Sunday night's clash, which maintained their 100% start to the season. James Rodriguez scored his first goal. All right, we now wrap it up for our KTN home viewers. But we continue the bulletin on KTN News. Be sure to join us for that, on more updates on what's been making headlines in the country and beyond. My name is Akisa Wandera. Do enjoy the rest of your afternoon.